really good sounding guitar that plays easy, makes you want to play. When I sit down to build a guitar, I'll design in my head what I want to do with that guitar, and I'll pick out the woods that are going to attribute to the sound that I want. You really are not 100% sure what it's going to sound like until you put strings on it and play it. And even at that, it takes maybe 3 to 6 months of playing the instrument for it to settle in and develop its own sound. Even a year, it will still be developing its sound. Probably I will never stop searching for the best sound. That is what keeps it alive for me. You need to consider aesthetics and playability as well as sound, but for myself, I like to explore sound. I think of myself as a sound sculptor. The most rewarding part of being a sound sculptor is hearing the final product being played. Hello, come on in. This is Timeless Instruments Shop. I'm David Freeman, and I'll give you a quick little tour. I live in Tugaske, Saskatchewan, which is a little village that's about 100 miles south of Saskatoon and 90 miles northwest of Regina, and 40 miles northwest of Moose Jaw, 84K actually. And I am a luthier, so I build musical instruments, mainly guitars, acoustic instruments like harps and mandolins and bouzouki, as well as guitars. I run a private vocational school, and each of these desks is equipped for a student to work in. So it's got its own tools and jigs so that a student can work here. It's a maximum of 7 students. There's 2 students right now, and they're working on doing their bindings. Seth is wrapping an order for the mail, and then I have a new top going on a classical guitar at my desk. What got me into making guitars? I had a guitar that I was playing, and I wanted to learn how to set it up so it played better, so I bought a book on repairs. Then I wanted to explore what made them sound better, and so I started pursuing that, and it's all mainly about sound for me. This is a classical guitar made out of ancient cowrie. It had a cowrie top on it, and I didn't like the response of it, so I've taken it off and put an Engelmann spruce top on. And I'm just filling the tiny little cracks around the purflings and rosette, and then I'm going to French polish it. So I'll be using some of this shellac with a little pad kind of like this, and working in little circles like that, which we won't be able to do even yet. I've been teaching since 1986, so that's 31 years of teaching. In that time, there's over 650 students have gone through my courses. Don't push it down. That line, when you're done, does that line look nice and straight relative to the floor out here? That's what you want.
No, not quite. It's a little high.
The most rewarding part about being a luthier teacher is watching someone's light bulb go on when they get it. And watching them string up the instruments and just play it. The action might be too high and it hurts their fingers, but they have spent 7 weeks of heartache and enjoyment building that instrument, and they are reaping the rewards when they start to play it.
My name is Joe Doherty. I'm from Mattituck, New York, and this is the guitar that I'm building. This is a classical guitar. I got Spanish cedar neck, Western red cedar for the soundboard, and then the back and sides are Paduk. I was always interested in studying luthiery, and I went to school for music, and I wanted to, broaden my horizons and, get a deeper understanding of how the instrument's built.
Everything that you do affects it. The attention to detail is continuous throughout the whole build to keep things within plus or minus 5/1000ths of an inch from, say, 110 thousandths is what you want to do to the top. And if you can actually have a tolerance of 2/1000ths, it's even better to get what the kind of response that you're looking for. There is a lot of physics in guitar building. It's huge physics. Is it art or science? Questions like that I put on a graph, on a line, and so you have science at one end and you have art at the other end, and you have everything in between. And the scientific people, there's the Catgut Acoustical Society. There's a bunch of retired physicists who took the violin family and built 8 different sizes of instruments using physics, and they work really well. And then there's people who just take the piece of wood and flex it and decide that they need to make this kind of thickness, and they might measure it and they might not. Stradivarius definitely did measurements, but a lot of it was intuitive. And then you have the people who use both. And I tend to like to use both. I pay attention to science for sure, but I don't buy every theory as being the be-all and end-all, because sometimes wood does something, and every piece of wood out of a piece of tree, even wood side by side, will vary. You need to make those judgment qualities of what you're going to do with it. We'll start up with the headstock. This is your headstock. The design of the headstock is often a signature of the maker. So if I'm on stage playing guitars and you're in the nosebleed seats, you can look at that headstock and say, he's playing a Timeless Instruments guitar. I'm going to go buy one tomorrow and maybe I can play as good as him. Then you have tuners that pull the strings all into place. You have a logo up here. This is a Timeless T with a lightning bolt for the eye, because we have action like the speed of light. Action is the distance between the bottom of the string and the top of the fret. So how far you have to push that string down to make it sound. When you push it down, you increase the tension, so the saddle needs to be compensated because the thicker strings have more tension. Then you have the neck, which extends you out past the body to get the total scale length, which is the distance from the nut to the saddle being located on the bridge, which also holds the strings or anchors them at this end with bridge pins. This is the whole bridge area here. And your fingerboard with different frets so that you can get different notes. The shorter the string, the higher the note. The top plate is your main vibrating diaphragm. This is where the sound comes from the strings exciting it. The mass of the bridge will determine how much sustain you get out of it, as well as the stiffness of the top and the bracing, which is inside, and I can't really show you. But this is the main thrust right here. The sides determine the depth, and the back reflects the sound that's happening off the front. This is your heel down in here. This guitar has a cutaway. It's pointed, which is called a Florentine, as opposed to a Venetian, which is a rounded bent one. This has the waist pulled in so that it just has a nice pleasant curve happening to it. It also has an armrest, so this is bent around the corner. This is to make it easier to tuck under your arm and comfortable, because this is my sound wedge series, which is deeper on the waist, so it's almost 5 inches here, whereas over here it's about 4 1/8, so it's a lot thinner here. Sound waves, treble sound waves are small, bass sound waves are big. I have a bigger area for bass sound waves, smaller area for treble sound waves, creating separation, which is another aspect of sound sculpture, right? It's not just all about loudness, it's about that. It's about trying to get little variations happening and different responses. I've been doing this the better part of my life now as a living, and it's still up and down. You know, I never really know where the next dollar's coming from, and that's okay, because it's been a privilege to actually be able to collect the wood that I've collected and shape it into the instruments I've shaped for people to appreciate the sound. Being able to teach people this whole craft, which is not really forte in our world of technology. That's been a privilege too, and very rewarding in connecting with those people and watching them go on and what they do with it. And even in the short time, if they never build another guitar, so many people have said to me, you know, the time at Timeless changed my life like nothing else. And that's pretty cool, because I'm just a guy trying to make a living, doing something I like.
If you have program ideas that you'd like to see on maxTV Local On Demand, write us at max.local@sastel.com.